Hey, what is up guys, it's Manalius, and welcome back to another video. It has come to my attention that during my brief stay in the Southeast Asian servers, I met a surprising amount of people who are completely new to the game. People would very often come to me and ask questions that I did not think I would hear anymore after nearly 20 years in the game's history, like where do I buy food, how do I change jobs, or where do I level. So I thought to myself that the best thing I could do is make a video about a bunch of mechanics and features that everyone should know about. Mind you that due to the nature of the topic, the video is more leaned towards newbies and beginners. However, this doesn't mean that there doesn't exist information that might prove useful even to veterans, as some features have been newly introduced in Flyff Universe. And who knows, maybe you play the game for years without realizing that a feature for something exists. So stick around, maybe skip parts that you already know, maybe all of you can learn something over the course of the video. But anyway, let's begin. I'm gonna take up this chance while most of you are bored of watching this video to let you know that in case you aren't already aware, the global servers for Flyff Universe will be released this Tuesday. This is overall great news for people who live in continents like Europe or America, as ping will be better and the time zones are more centralized. However, my reason for bringing the global release up doesn't have anything to do with gameplay quality, but rather about what you can, or rather cannot bring with you from the SCA servers. If you intend to transfer over to the global servers once they've released, I highly advise you against spending money on F-coins or the cash shop currency for now. One of my viewers brought it to light in the comments of my previous video that they ended up cashing out in the SCA servers without knowing about the global server release, made a ticket about it in Flyff Universe's Discord server, and they were told that none of it would be refunded or transferred over to the global servers. Filled with grief, this person decided to stick with the SCA servers despite the hyping, as they didn't want to waste the money that they spent. While I do understand that it's on them for not digging deeper before opening up their wallets, it's also due to the poor management of this information and not properly warning spenders beforehand about this restriction. Whether this was an intentional move by Gala or not, you're free to leave that up to your imagination. Talking about the inability to transfer funds between servers, another thing that you should know is that the same applies to characters. In other words, you'll have to start over in the global servers even if you've already made progress in the SCA servers. So take this into consideration before getting too invested in the game, and don't burn yourself out. Allow me to ask you a simple question. Does this sound like you? I don't know what mobs to kill next. Where should I go? If it does, then you're in for a pleasant surprise. There actually exists a feature in Flyff Universe where you can toggle an option on your map that I like to call mob tracking. If you have a map of any region opened up, by clicking the A-Pet icon at the top right of your map window, transparent icons of all the available mascot pets or mobs in that region will appear. The location of the icon portrays their actual location on the map, and hovering your mouse over them will display their levels. Practically speaking, this feature alone allows you to find the monsters suitable for your level and helps you plan out your leveling route. Talking about leveling, another tip that I want to give is to stick with monsters that are slightly above your level. Killing monsters below your level will cause you to get much less experience than you should, and will make you progress much slower with no real merit. So as long as you're always facing a challenge, your experience gains should be reasonable and allow you to build up quest items for the next appropriate office quest. If you're new to the game and just reached your first job, looking at all the skills that you can learn might be a little discouraging. Flyff Universe is a game that plays heavily on how you build your character, and with all the options laid before you, it can be both exciting and terrifying simultaneously. So before you mix and match everything, hoping for it to work and regretting it around level 40, let me quickly debrief you on how it all works. Trust me, this is gonna take a while. Starting from the very basics, you learn skills by using a limited resource called skill points. Skill points are usually rewarded from leveling up, but you also receive additional skill points when changing jobs at level 15 and 60. You get 2 skill points from levels 1 to 15, 3 skill points from levels 16 to 40, 4 skill points from 41 to 60, and 5 or more past level 60. The amount of skill points needed to level up a skill also depends on what job skills you're trying to learn. Vagrant skills take up 1 point, first job skills 2 points, and second job skills 3 points. Skills need 10 levels in order to be maxed out, with the exception being in first job skills, where skills can go as high as level 20. In other words, maxing out a single skill in your first job takes 40 points, which is especially harsh early on. So it is important right off the bat to choose wisely. So now that you know how the skill points work, let me talk about what makes skills special. There exist 3 types of skills: attacks, buffs, and debuffs. Buffs are passive effects which give you a temporary booster for a certain period of time. For most self-buffs, this duration is 1 hour, but this value can change depending on what skill it is, or if you're talking about buffs given by assists. Debuffs are essentially the same, but instead they are negative effects inflicted on an enemy. Attacks, on the other hand, are offensive maneuvers which can be combo attacks, be used to strike multiple enemies at once, or include special effects. In addition to that, skills will require either MP or FP to be cast, so you'll need potions if you want to use them consistently. Reading a skill description will often allow you to make the distinction of what kind of a skill it is, so don't hesitate to read up a bit and plan ahead. It'll take you a long way. Before I move on to talk about the last bit about skills, I think I should explain a little about stats first. Each time you level up, you get 2 stat points that can be allocated to either strength, stamina, dexterity, or intellect. Simply put, strength increases your attack damage, stamina increases your durability, dexterity makes you more nimble and precise, while intellect increases your magical aptitude, with a couple exceptions that are also shown when hovering over the stats. Don't worry too much about the details for now, you can see the occurring stat changes flashing in red before applying them for good. One key detail that you should pay attention to is that dexterity doesn't really serve using skills in any way unless you're using bows, as dexterity increases bow damage. Another key feature to skills is that they will never crit or miss and use casting time instead of attack speed, and all of these except casting speed are stats that dexterity provides. So when making the decision whether you lean more towards skills or auto attacks, that knowledge can save you from wasting a lot of stat and skill points from being put in the wrong places and make your character a lot more stronger. I know that this was a lot of information to handle right off the bat, so if it helps, you should definitely try out the Skillulator app that you can find in the community section of Flyff Universe's homepage. It's a little scuffed and outdated, but it certainly can help you with figuring out your skill composition. Either way, huge props if you listen to all of this, and I hope it helps you on your journey to level 60. You may or may not have already realized this, but there exist more than just vendor quality items in the game. On top of your common gear pieces, there exist rarer weapons, shields, and armor pieces that can give you a significant boost through flat stat increases and stat effects. Finding all of the necessary gear pieces on your own is next to impossible though, and that's where the player market and trading comes in. If you ever come across an item that you think a player would like to get their hands on, you can open up your own shop by opening up the menu and selecting Private Shop. Clicking this will open a 20-slot trade window where you can put anything up for sale for any price you want as long as it's tradable. Once you're done setting up, clicking shop will open your store out to the public, and then you just wait. Not to worry though, if your device can't handle overnight vending or you just don't want to AFK, there exists a feature in Flyff Universe where you can set up a vendor NPC in your place to run a shop for you. Simply repeat the process, but instead of clicking shop, you click vendor. You can start using the vendor feature starting from level 30 at around 2 hours, and its duration will scale based on your level. Be wary though, since unlike items sold by NPCs, rare gear pieces don't have a set value. Most people will probably try to sell you overpriced items or buy them off you for dirt cheap, so it's important for you to know the current market value of the merchandise before striking a deal. Frequently looking through the other players' shops, checking the shout channel for offers, and discussing over the price of an item with a buyer or seller can be small things that make a huge difference. Questing in Flyff Universe is a great alternative to sidetrack from the seemingly endless grind of monsters from time to time, but on top of that it has also become much more relevant than ever thanks to the addition of unlockable inventory slots and other cool rewards. However, if you're new to questing overall, you might not know about features that can make your questing experience much more smoother or help you evaluate whether doing a quest or a quest chain is worth your time. So allow me to share my wisdom. Let's start with actual questing. Whenever you're on a quest and you're not sure where to find something, you can simply click or tap on the name of the quest item or objective to either receive a clue or a direct marker that leads to its location. With this, you should not struggle to finish most quests. You can also see the quest rewards in the quest log by selecting the quest and checking down below. When picking up a quest, you can tell the difference between an individual quest or a quest chain immediately. Individual quests have yellow markers, and quest chains have red markers. While it is often easy to tell from an individual quest whether the reward is worth the effort, it's hard to say from just a single quest reward whether a quest chain will bear fruits. Luckily, Flyff Universe has its own Wikipedia page, flyffipedia.com, which allows you to look through an entire quest chain and see what rewards each individual quest in the chain gives. You can use this to your advantage as you unlock new quests, and help you hunt down all of the available inventory slots. There also exist a couple ways to alter your EXP gains depending on your needs. Are you that one guy who's more eager to play than the rest of your group but doesn't want to level up? Perhaps you want to farm for that cruiser suit because you don't want to pay for it. Allow me to introduce you to the EXP lock system, a feature which allows you to stop getting experience from monster kills for a small sum of pennia to keep the effect active. Mind you though that this doesn't stop you from getting experience from other sources like quests. In contrast, if you want to level up faster in Flyff Universe, going solo isn't necessarily going to be the most effective method to go about it. In fact, while your own kills might yield you more EXP when you're alone, the experience that others around you provide more than makes up for that loss in the long run, along with the bonuses that being in a party provides to all of its members. There's also an EXP share system in a party that can be changed, and changing this to contribution allows members of the party to gain maximum benefit from their own kills, even more so than playing alone. So don't miss out on being in a party. I explained a little more about parties in my previous video as well, so recommend checking that out if you haven't already. Also as a side note, if you happen to be playing in a group, there also exists a buff in the motion menu called Cheer. For every hour that you spend in game, you will get a cheer point stacking up to 3 charges. Using this motion on another player will give them a 10-minute buff that increases their experience gains from killing monsters by 5%. It's not much, but the little boost can be significant for you or your teammates' productivity. So don't forget about it. Flyff Universe is a game with a simple premise, but with it also comes plenty of intricacies that aren't all that simple to understand and learn simply by playing. I hope that today's video helped you cross that line of complexity, even if just a little bit, and that it helps you find your footing in your future adventures in Madrigal. I also wanted to say a big thank you for all the support that my previous video has gotten. I never expected to actually cross 10,000 views on my first Flyff Universe related video. You guys are awesome! I'm still not used to releasing videos regularly, and I got a lot on my plate right now, so I'm sorry that it took me a while to release this one. But not to worry, I'm still gonna keep making content no matter how long it takes, so stick around for more since I won't be stopping anytime soon. Also, a quick reminder that I'll be streaming the game on Twitch as global releases on Tuesday, so if you want to see me enjoy the game live, you're more than welcome to join in on the fun. But anyway, that's all for today, thank you so much for watching, and I hope to see you guys on the next video or stream. Until then, it's bye bye.